Hello and welcome to this Chapter 3 lecture video. We're going to talk a little bit about race and ethnicity. So for centuries, people have tried to define race scientifically. In the 18th and 19th centuries, race was classified into hierarchical categories, often with the belief that some groups were more advanced than others. But modern biology tells us something very different. Race is not a scientifically valid way to categorize humans. In fact, people of different races are genetically more alike than different. So if race isn't biological, well, what is it? Well, it's a social construct. Social construct is a label created by society that changes over time and across cultures. For example, the US Census has changed its racial categories multiple times over the years, reflecting shifts in how society sees race. In the US, race has been shaped by social and historical factors, like the one drop rule, which stated that anyone with even one ancestor of African descent was considered black. This was not based on science, but on economic and political motives during slavery. Even today, race is often assigned based on how others perceive someone, not just personal identity. Today, people can select multiple racial identities on the US Census, and more than 38 million Americans identify as multiracial. This shift is slowly challenging traditional racial boundaries. Race and ethnicity shape family life in profound ways. Endogamy, or marrying within one's racial or ethnic group, has been the norm for most of American history. But over time, interracial marriages has increased, reflecting greater social integration. For example, in 1967, just 3% of all marriages in the US were interracial. Today, that number is over 17%, which is a sign of changing attitudes and increased diversity. So why does the government still collect data on race? The US Census Bureau doesn't define race biologically, but tracks it to enforce civil rights laws and monitor social inequality. And this data reveals major disparities in wealth, education, and health outcomes between different racial groups. For example, families with two college-educated parents tend to have greater financial stability. But due to historical and systemic inequalities, Black and Latino families are less likely to accumulate generational wealth, which affects their children's future opportunities. America's racial and ethnic landscape is rapidly changing. By 2045, non-Hispanic whites are projected to make up less than half the population. This shift will impact everything from family dynamics to politics to the workforce. As more people identify with multiple racial and ethnic backgrounds, will traditional racial categories become obsolete, or will new forms of social identity emerge? One thing is clear, our definitions of race and ethnicity will continue to evolve, just as they have throughout history. So that's really what Chapter 3 kind of explores, and in this week's assignment, you're going to find out how race and ethnicity have shaped family experiences through an interview. So you're going in the assignment, it's the exploring the experiences of mixed race and multicultural families in the U.S. You're going to choose an individual or a family, doesn't matter. You can interview one or every or a couple of people, but you're going to choose a mixed race or multicultural family that you can interview. And this could be someone in your own family, it could be a friend's family, it could be a family you know through the community, and you're just going to conduct an interview with one or more members of that family, and then explore their experiences with race, ethnicity, culture, and how those factors have influenced their family dynamics. There's more about this assignment in the module, and as always, if you have any questions, please reach out. Thank you.